YouTube. A delayed game is eventually good, but a bad game is bad forever. It's your boys, Detroit Love, P-Dubs Arcade Love, Michael B. the Game Genie, and Restalgia with another episode of the Super Game Room Dudes Friday night. Just got live.
Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. It's Friday. Welcome to the Fun House, and this is, as always, your favorite arcade gaming podcast show on YouTube. It's the Super Game Room Dudes. I'm your host, P-Dubs. With me, as always, the man from Motown himself, Carl, Detroit Love, our Canadian grappler, Michael B. the Game Genie, and some guy named Restalgia. How you guys doing tonight?
I'm doing good.
Fantastic, brother. You know how we do it.
Well, we are very excited to once again be gracing your living rooms, your arcades, or your cell phones while you're on the shitter this Friday evening. And do us a favor, guys, click that thumbs up button, spread the word. The Super Game Room Dudes are live, and we got a number of fun topics for us to talk about tonight. But before we do, Michael B. the Game Genie has made some changes in his office, and we have to check in with the status of the office renovation of Michael B. Michael B, is the litter box still in the effing office, or is it gone?
For now. For now. We're not all the way there. We're pretty close. So my brother was over earlier today to help. My wife has this new thing with fish tanks. So he had to bring over this giant fish tank thing. I forget what it's called. And they did a cleaning on the fish tank. So then I got him to help me bring the body of my ALP HD up. So that's back in the office now. So all the machines are moved. What am I missing here?
Just Paul's comment.
I'm convinced Restalgia is on the crapper right now. His arcades just happened to be in the bathroom.
It's so true.
Yeah, so anyways, I moved all this stuff back upstairs. Very happy with it because I mentioned a couple times I'm on a mesh system here in Canada with Rogers, and for some reason I just couldn't get my Legends ID account to stay active on all my AtGames stuff. They're back up in the office now right next to the router, and everything's working like it should again. So at least these machines, I can use them like I'm supposed to with myself logged in. And I got all my Arcade1Up machines put back into the half of the arcade I used to have. And I'm in the process of getting that cleaned out, putting all the art and stuff back up. Last couple nights, I've actually been down in the arcade. The night before I finished Battletoads, reached out to PD7. I don't know where he was, but I played through Battletoads by myself. Last night, I almost got all the way through King of Dragons, but then my wife called me and needed me to come up because my dog was getting sick, and there's no pause button on the Street Fighter 2 Deluxe when you're playing through a beat-em-up, so I had to leave the game in process to take care of the dog. But I actually got some games in the new arcade over the last couple nights, so things are going good. I'm looking forward to playing some ALP HD tonight.
Question for you, Mike.
Yeah.
What happened to your Arcade1Ups?
Yeah.
They're all down in my arcade. I have an arcade again in my house.
Well, okay, but why do you have the machines behind you?
Yeah, and why not the Arcade1Ups?
Yeah.
Do you want me to go down in the basement and do my show from the basement? Because that's where they all are.
No, I just wish you would explain yourself as to like why you made all these changes.
I just did.
But the real reason, Mike.
Yeah.
Oh, well, according to P-Dubs...
Well, Mike, no, not according to those with a tinfoil hat.
According to P-Dubs, as he said on my show Monday night, that I have the machines behind me for the company I'm working with that week.
In 2 weeks, guys, the 1-ups will be back upstairs.
It'll be all Iconic Arcade behind me.
Oh, that's too funny. Carl, how is life in Motown, baby? How is life?
Oh, beautiful, man. We had like a 72 degree day, and then it was 25 next day. So,
yeah.
But that was pretty rare for a February day, so we enjoyed it.
Well, that's good, man. Yeah, the weather here is beautiful in Arizona right now, so I can't complain myself. I can't complain. What is the weather like in Canada for you two numbskulls?
Restalgia, you go first, my friend.
It's just like Carl. We get like cold, snow, and then 12 hours later, it's like 12 or 13 degrees. So
Yeah.
and that's Celsius, I guess, because you guys use Fahrenheit. I don't know what the conversion is on that. But it goes from like really cold and windy to like comfortable to walk outside in like a long sleeve shirt within like 12 hours. It's kind of stupid right now.
Yeah, we had false spring here this week. So right after like all the nightmare snow we've had the last couple weeks and crazy storms, we had like 2 days where most of the snow melted and we had like 7 degrees, 8 degrees, and a little bit of rain. And then all of a sudden it was right back to we had freezing rain last night and snow again. So it's just all over the place right now. March, April, and even into May can be really unpredictable in Canada, especially where I live, which is the island of misfit souls, or otherwise known as Newfoundland and Labrador.
Good stuff. Well, we got a number of topics we want to talk about. Let's see what we put here. Arcade1Up X-Men 97, shuttle golf game from Thinkup. Actually, I have a funny story about that, too. New Ninja Turtles arcade game is coming to home consoles. Plus, we're going to talk a bit about what is going on with Nintendo and Yuzu. And what else are we going to talk about, Mike? I forgot.
So Sandman threw it up in the chat. We are going to talk about what's going on with all the layoffs and the panic in the video game world. And also, if you guys watch our GT85, he covered it with such fervor that his nipples were literally coming out of his shirt on his thumbnails. So we're definitely going to talk about that with less nipple excitement than our GT85.
Yeah. And we got a little bit of an update for AtGames owners in Canada, stuff like that. So should be a fun show. But like we always do, we got to say hi to who's here in the live chat. Chat's on the screen. Do us a favor. If you want your shout out, speak now or forever hold your peace. We're going to start saying hi to the live chat real quick. Bobby Broadway is here. Charlie Chuck, JT Brunick, Bobby One, ALU. I said it right that time. Holy crap. Jamie Lockman is here, out from Purgatory. Al Vickman's here. Sathius, Bill's a retro gaming show. Chris NXXW, E Leo, Orion's Dreams, 19K Fox, Arcades Anonymous. Make sure you check them out on YouTube. They do a fun arcade and gaming podcast show. Zero Cool, Hazo, Pliskin's Run is back. What's up, Pliskin? Don't worry, Pliskin, no iArcade talk anymore. You're welcome to come back every week. He hated it when we talked about the iArcade. Danny Z is here. Mad Astra's Gaming. Kevin Clausen's here. What's up, Kevin? We haven't seen you in a while. Welcome to Kevin Clausen. Chris
He's back.
Kingsborough.
He's back.
He's back. They always come back. They say they're gonna leave us, Mike, and what do? They come running right back. They miss us and our XL arcades. T Slayer's here. Endless 1UP is back. Endless, what's up, buddy? Thumper Squid, Chris Kingsborough, Jimmy Harper, James hates everything but secretly loves everybody is here as well. Paul's is here, and let's all give a shout out to Jason, the little alien, the world's greatest moderator is here as well. Cheesy B talking nips in the first 10 minutes. That's going to be a great show. Yeah, there you go. And Jeremy K wants everyone to know that Jeremy is here. Okay, that's all the time we have for shout outs. Chat's going off the screen.
Oh, you guys, if you want to stick around, it's $50 a month membership for our post show. There's 4 of us, so we're going to think it's worth 10 times more than 19K Fox's post show. $50, get in now. It's the post show. It'll be scandalicious.
Is 19K Fox here? I thought I saw him.
He was here. He just left.
Oh, he just left. Oh, they always pop in and pop out. Story of my life. There you go. Paul Minderman's here as well as 42,000 people are watching on Reddit. Isn't that right, Paul? You should be live streaming us on Reddit right now, buddy. When is the post show? Yeah, there's no post show. Don't let Mike mess with your heads. Is the post show also 1 hour and 18? Isn't it crazy how the shit we do catches on? 1 hour and 18 minutes. Everyone knows any longer than that, and I get restless. I don't want to.
That's a full hour and 17 minutes longer than P-Dubs can go in the bedroom.
That is kind of true. Kevin Clausen, $2. Nips are good, but I forgot to do a transition. He's got to get his transition in. You know what I mean? Speaking of nipples, Kevin Clausen with a $2 super chat says nipples are good, but nothing beats a super chat, especially a $2 super chat from Kevin Clausen. Thanks so much, Kevin. We greatly appreciate the support. All right, guys, let's dive into some gaming news. Let's get the AtGames stuff out of the way because it's only a quick bit of information. Michael B, the Game Genie, as our designated contracted employee and official PK representative, what is going on with AtGames, and where does he want us to go to get information, and what is going on with the Canadian products?
So yeah, the Canadian products seems like the first people have started to get their products. We had somebody out in BC today get a call, go to the distribution center, and the first brick-ordered AtGames Legends Pinball 4KP has landed here in Canada. People should be getting them over the course of the next week. So the western part of Canada's got them now. It takes about a week from them to get to the distribution center to the stores if you're picking up in store. So then it's going to take an additional week for them to get to Eastern Canada. So, add a week onto that if you're picking it up in the store. If you can go to the distribution center, you should get yours within the next couple of days. The ALP 4Ks are here. AtGames are telling people there's a big Day 25 update. It's what you're going to want to know when you get your machines. The best place to get feedback on that is in the AtGames Legends 4K fan page. This is a private fan page. So anyways, guys, look it up and look to get access.
Now, is it only for Canadians, or can Americans join as well?
No. This is for everybody. This is just for everybody for the 4K product. AtGames.
Not everybody.
AtGames is officially endorsing this one. They're doing, contest giveaways, and they're putting their resources into helping Leah and the team run this one. And for some reason, it's private with not everybody being able to get in. I guess they're making sure that this is a place for fans to go without detractors and people like that to dissuade from the information being given, I guess.
Yeah, chill on your face.
Am I in the right place? I feel like I'm on the wrong channel all of a sudden.
They took a turn pretty quickly.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, Restalgia, how do you feel about Canadians finally getting their hands on the AtGames Legends Pinball? Are you going to be picking one up, a 4K?
I don't know. Right now, I don't have any immediate plans to pick one up, but who knows? Maybe someday down the road. I think I'm gonna park and I'm gonna wait and see what other IPs are released and announced. Addams Family, for me, it just doesn't do that much. Just not an IP I really cared too much about, so I'm curious to see what else they're gonna come down the pipeline with.
Doesn't do a lot for me, baby. Oh yeah, switch it to something else. Oh, that's doing it.
Now, if
I have no idea.
Bark like a dog.
Now, wrong camera view. If I recall, the only pinball that the Canadians are getting is the Addams Family, right?
That's correct. Yeah, right now.
For now.
Yeah,
for now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not to say that there might be another variant in the future that they get. It's not forever. But
yeah. So right now, I mean, the demand in Canada is extremely small, right? And it does cost a lot of money to get shit here. So I think honestly, the Canadian contingent makes up about probably somewhere between 5 and 10% of AtGames' overall business. We're talking pretty small numbers, so they try to get us what they can here. It's a bit weird that we can't order directly from them. It'd be nice if they figured out some way that fans who did want more differentiated products, like I love that Attack from Mars table, if they could figure out some way to do a first-person order here to Canada directly.
I almost forgot about this, but Mad Dog here just triggered my memory. Wasn't there a little bit of a ho-hum earlier this week with AtGames where people were receiving pinball machines with their unique numbered plaques that were not uniquely numbered? They were getting the machines that were carrying the same number. What was going on there? What was the excuse from AtGames as to why they're duplicating numbers on the pinball machines? Does anybody remember?
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, they explained it. So what happened was with the first batch that came out without the SSF kits, the numbering started at 0. And then when they did the next batch with the SSF kits, the numbering started at 0 again. So it went up to I think 999, and then they started over again at 0 for whatever reason. So
hey,
that's what they're saying.
Be nice to Canada. They haven't even got theirs yet. It would be funny if Canada opens their pinball machines and they start over at 1, 2, 3, 4.
No,
5.
it's in French. It's in French in Canada. that is one of the problems. Like honestly, all the packaging has to have French on it in order for a product to be sold in Canada. So that's part of it. They got to do different packaging.
I find it funny that they knew this was happening, but they didn't say anything to anybody until people started complaining about it on like their social media platforms and stuff. Like, I don't get it. So they're saying like the normal pinball machines will have one set of numbers, but if you have a pinball machine with a pre-installed surround sound feedback kit, it's a separate set of numbers. That's the difference between the two. Seems weird.
Yeah,
just seems weird in my opinion.
So, what's your theory? What are you thinking?
Well, I'm just saying,
is it the Lizardman?
I'm just saying, man, it's weird. Why not? If they have 500 of these machines come in, or 1,000 or whatever, why don't they just pick these 200 and put the surround sound kits? Why does the numbering system have to start over? It's just weird to me.
Because they didn't make stickers past $9.99. They had to reuse the same stickers. It's economy of scope here, brother. Come on.
Yeah.
Is it a different model number?
And all the while, Wagner thought he was sitting on a gold mine with pinball machine number 1. Sorry, Wagner, your pinball machine is now not the only number 1. Oh, by the way, there's a guy out there on my Discord who's willing to print and sell plaques with whatever number you want. So if you guys want to get your hands on that, join my Discord. That'll put a ruffle in some chips there. So there you go. But that's pretty much it for AtGames. Like, it's nice to see people in Canada are finally going to get their hands on these machines.
Yeah, really excited for that.
Be glad you waited because, there were a lot of issues. Go ahead.
I was glad you mentioned that about the plaque option, because I was just thinking we had all these third-party vendors for Arcade1Up, and you could reskin your machines. Has anyone started offering skins for the 4K?
I know. So Buy Stuff Arcades is going to do skins for the 4K machine. They haven't officially put them up for order yet. They're still doing all the sizing and the measurements and all that kind of. It's kind of funny. Like, I ordered some artwork from Joe Sabo today, and he messaged me a screenshot of like whatever Microsoft Visio type artwork program he uses that has all the measurements and the scaling, and he's like, I'm trying to get all the pieces to fit you one in here. Can you let me know how big this section is? You know what I mean? Like, Sabo's working on it. And just that design process alone takes a long time. Just figuring out how you're going to fit this shit on a panel this big.
Yeah, you want to get it right, because people be pretty upset.
But the Buy Stuff guys posted in their Facebook group saying, hey guys, we're working on it. We'll have artwork for the 4K products very, very soon. Very soon. Awesome. Restalgia, you want to take care of this super chat?
Yeah, so from James Hates Everything, $5 super chat. The unique numbers are just lagged. They'll fix them in a future update. Thank you, sir.
There you go.
We appreciate that.
There you go. Well, Jason was kind enough as a moderator to share a link to my Discord in the chat. But speaking of moderation, Kevin Clausen says, make him a mod so he can ban 19K Fox. What? I thought 19K was your boy.
I just put Fox in a timeout, that's all.
Why did you put Fox in a timeout?
Because I have the power to.
And Fox gets mad now. Unless we're talking Unico, he's got no time for it. He's a greasy Unico shill.
That's pretty much what's happened. So every time he comments, I'm just going to put him in a timeout. You got that, Fox? You got that?
You guys are always hilarious. Any rumors as to when Buy Stuff's PC will be out? Are you talking about them doing like PC builds and releasing them? I haven't heard an update yet, my friend. Have you guys? I don't think they've told anyone yet. All right, there we go. All right, Thumper, thanks so much. All right, so Mike, tell me all about this TMNT Wrath of the Mutants. You were pretty hyped about this, and I'll put some stuff on the screen, guys.
Yeah, man.
It's Cowabunga time.
So anytime we talk TMNT, it's a good day because Turtles are awesome. This is something that came out a couple of years ago in the arcade from Raw Thrills. It's more in your modern arcades, your Dave and Buster's, or if you're here in Canada, places like the Rec Room. So this is the new Raw Thrills Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game. It's finally coming to platforms. It's going to be available on Switch, PlayStation 5, Xbox, Steam, and it's basically the arcade coming home. They're going to have new levels as well. So this was the big news a couple days ago. Pretty exciting for people who want to bring that arcade experience home. It's nice to see Raw Thrills doing this stuff lately. I mean, we saw it with Cruisin' Blast coming to the Switch as well. So if this is a game you probably played with your kids going to one of these more modern arcades, now you can play it at home.
What I like about games like this coming out on consoles as well as on Steam is that games like this would make it fun to play on your arcade. So if you have a multicade that's connected to like PC Steam, this could be a fun game to actually play and have the same arcade experience at home that you actually had in the arcade that this game was designed for. And I like what Paul said here because I agree with him. He likes Raw Thrills. They're keeping arcade games alive. I would agree with that. I think Raw Thrills is one of the companies out there keeping that experience alive for all of us. Restalgia, what are your thoughts on this? The artwork style sometimes throws people off on this one. What do you think of how the game looks?
I'm not a big fan of the art style. This is like the Nickelodeon New Age Turtles that has been out, I don't know, for the last 10 years or so. I don't love the art style, but I like the gameplay. Like, I have played this at some of our local, like, arcade types of things that I'd go with my daughter, and we played this together. It's a fun game. Nice little beat 'em up. And it's good that they keep bringing this stuff out. I actually think that this would be a great title for Jong to put on the iArcade.
Oh my God.
Somebody should just reach out to him and let him know that this would be an incredible license for him to secure for the iArcade. That'd be wonderful.
I'm telling you right now, I've got a theory about this, and I was going to make a video on it. I've already got my thumbnail ready. Maybe I still will, so look for that this weekend. I do think that there's a chance we might get a home arcade port of this as well.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Of this game?
Oh yeah.
By another company?
Yeah.
Like officially or who?
John D. Up.
John D. Up? I'm wondering what John D. is going to call his new...
John D. Up.
Yeah. All right, guys, in the live chat, the rumors are swirly that within the next month or two, John D. will be announcing his new arcade company and his new arcade machine coming soon. What do you guys think John D. is going to name this arcade company? Throw some guesses in the live chat. I'm thinking Vape Arcade or the Vapecade, and it's going to have a charger specifically for your vape pen built into the control panel. What about you guys?
I actually do know, so I'm gonna refrain from commenting.
To Play. That's the name of it. To Play.
Okay, you know? I'll come out and tell.
How do you know?
John D. is going to be revealed as the mastermind behind Iconic Arcade. John D. is the person who released Iconic Arcade. It's going to make it to the US, and the first playable game is going to be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Wrath of the Mutants.
It sounds exciting.
Yeah, I really think you're just trolling the audience, Mike.
John D. is Iconic Arcade. I mean, can you think of anybody more iconic than John D?
Oh my God. Oh man, I love how the people are like, "What up, down? One up, yours? F, what up, man?" You guys think John D. hates that company that much? I don't know. Maybe he does. I don't know. I never talked to him. I don't know what the vibe there is. The Big D Energy Arcade. Arcade2Up, there you go. All right, pretty funny stuff. All right, let's get off of that there. So yeah, there you go, guys.
Anyways, this is super exciting. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy this. Hopefully, there is online multiplayer. I don't know if multiple card readers with us for the actual thing, but I think there's a lot of value with this from me being able to just call up Restalgia and say, "Hey, do you want to play Turtles together online?" and playing the arcade experience from our systems or whatever way we play it. I think there's a lot of value in that. And also, it's cool because, like, I know I can get my daughter to play TMNT Arcade. Back when I had the Arcade1Up, she loves Turtles, but, like, our kids aren't into retro Turtles like we are. So they see this in the arcades. If I tell them that this is there, being able to get the kids to play with you, it's that bridge between what I grew up with and, what they're growing up with now. So, yeah, there's a lot of value to this.
And I'm curious, you guys are a little younger than I am. So this Turtles game is obviously a 4-player. How often do people play 4-player type games on a console? I'm just curious. Is that
next to
maybe
never.
Mario Kart? Is that maybe one of the few exceptions?
Well,
Where
like
go
you
beyond two?
you can do family games and shit like that. Like Mario Party's a big one. Everybody gets around and plays. Like sometimes with the sports games, like you can get 4 people playing. Mario Kart's another one. So yeah, it all depends on what the experience is.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like the only time we ever play more than 2 players in my house is me, my wife, and my son. We like playing Mario Party. We like playing the Mario Party games, and we'll play the 3 of us, and then we add like a computer player, or just do the 3 of us. So
I apologize, Bobby Broadway. It's part of my accent. That's the way everybody says it here. I don't know why. And it's like Mario Lemieux. That's how we say it. I understand that it's pronounced Mario. It's hard for me not to default to my local dialect or local speech. So I apologize. I try my best.
yeah. When you do this podcast show, Mike, can you start speaking American?
And you would not believe the amount of comments I get for people saying this guy is obviously stupid. He does not talk like he was born from 2 cousins in Alabama.
We do have some interesting Arcade1Up stuff to talk about coming up very, very soon, guys. So be patient for that. But before we do, all kinds of stuff happening in the legal system. That's right. The courts are being overrun. They're being taken over by a company called Nintendo. Nintendo is suing emulation people. Should they be doing this? Let us know your thoughts in the live chat. Are they within their rights? Are you on Team Nintendo? Or are you on Team Emulation? Let us know in the live chat. Restalgia, this is your topic, baby. Tell me all about what is going on with Yuzu and Nintendo. And I'll actually put up the Twitter post from Yuzu. They've hired attorneys, man. They're ready to go to war. What's going on with this, buddy?
I don't know. It's the first I'm hearing about it. What are you guys talking about?
You're being sued by
is
Nintendo
Yuzu?
for your dirty, illicit online actions, Neo.
Mike, I'm just practicing being an edgelord. That's all. So
You are a dirty edgelord.
I'm a dirty edgelord. So Nintendo has filed suit against, what's the name of the company?
Yuzu.
Tropic Haze LLC.
Yes, that's
which
that's the
is
one.
the development studio behind the Yuzu emulator. And for those who don't know what that is a modern day Nintendo Switch emulator that runs on PC or on Android. And this is an interesting lawsuit because we've seen lawsuits like this in the past, many times in the past. And there's actually been precedents set where emulators are completely legal. And so long as they don't have stolen source code or they aren't doing anything in terms of like accessing illegal information from or proprietary information or utilizing proprietary code, they're okay. But the lawsuit here actually is slightly different because their main claim is that they're coming after Yuzu because Yuzu circumvent around the decryption of the actual game files. And although that might even be okay, they're also saying that because Yuzu created a guide to teach people how to go into their Nintendo Switch and break the terms of service and then pull out the product keys and take all of the information that they need, the firmware, ripping the firmware out of the Nintendo Switch and sideloading it onto the PC or your Android device or whatever, that there's a couple breaches there. And then they're also making claims that there's lost revenue for Tears of the Kingdom. And they're saying that there was over 1 million downloads of the game prior to the release. And the fact that you can get these games prior to the official launch and run them on the emulator is a problem. And I've got my own personal opinion on it, but that's in a nutshell what's going on. So I actually kind of want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think about this as it pertains to a lawsuit against an emulator developer?
I think it's a waste of everybody's time, in my opinion. It's just a power move, in my opinion. I personally, I think let the people play with the stuff they own, in my opinion. But Nintendo feels that they own everything that has ever been created that has the words Nintendo associated with it. So, What can we do? Repeal DMCA, Digital Millennium Copyright Act. Yeah, I don't know about that. C. North says screw Nintendo, LOL. I don't know. I mean, someone in the chat put it in here, and that's kind of where I stand. They're like, the ROMs are illegal. Like, if you're doing the ROM portion is illegal, right? But, okay, well, we can kind of agree on that. But the emulator, how is that? Explain to me how that piece is illegal. Again, I don't understand.
There's a few different ways. So I don't think it's any question. I don't think anybody has any doubts that I am pro emulation. I've been pro emulation for a very long time. But if we take a step back and just look at things objectively, there is not a person. I don't think people can say that emulation is for game preservation, and it allows users to be able to take what they've purchased and just play it any way that they want, and they own the content, so they should be able to do what they want with that content, and it shouldn't be up to Nintendo to gatekeep how a consumer ends up using their software. But the real, like, when you realistically look at it, I don't think there is a person in this live chat that's watching our show that is on this panel that has used emulation with a game that they don't actually own. I have no doubt that at some point you guys have played a game through emulation for a title you've never owned, you've never purchased, you've never rented, you've never contributed financially to. So there is that piece, and I get that perspective. Additionally, Nintendo Switch is modern gen, right? Like, that is currently within its life cycle. So then it becomes a problem of like, okay, now we've got people that have got emulators that can download these ROMs that can back up their games, whatever, for modern generation consoles where they're actively trying to make a profit from it. So it can be problematic, but I mean,
do you know what one of the Carl? Just 1 second. Do you know what one of the star pieces of evidence was? That's actually helping them with this trial. A couple of weeks ago, someone was doing a stream on this new handheld, and someone was kind enough to actually timestamp when Nintendo was shown on screen, and that's the key piece of evidence. That is the bloody glove that's sinking Yuzu right now.
That's it. Yeah, I wonder who that guy was. It's interesting that they would do that. It's interesting. I don't think that has anything to do with this, unfortunately.
I want to hear Carl always has the mature look at things. Carl,
obviously,
tell us.
Obviously, the Digital Millennium Copyright Act was put in place as the internet started to form, right? I mean, obviously, before the internet, it was a lot harder to copy this physical media. Once you get into the internet and people are able to create this stuff as we sleep, you know what I mean? They had to put something into place to try and protect copyright material. But the reality is, I'm a huge fan of emulation. I get on one side of the coin, you're saying, okay, well, these things that you're no longer selling and no longer able to play them in one platform, and I want to be able to play that now, versus you're playing something that's before I even release it, right? You know what I mean? Yeah. And so there's a tug of war match in any type of thing like that, and who can say which side is right or wrong? But obviously, companies have an interest, right, a financial interest in trying to protect, their material. It's interesting that they're willing to put some money up against Nintendo, because Nintendo has a whole lot of money. And this thing, and they can throw as much money at it. Oh yeah, so these guys are going to run out of money before.
Well, I just think these guys are trying to protect themselves. I mean, like, honestly, there's people out there who ran like ROM websites. Their lives are ruined. Nintendo basically ruined them. Like, if their kids, make $1 from a paper route, Nintendo comes and takes their kids' paper route money. This is how bad Nintendo have screwed over people. Just running ROM sites, on the other people are sharing them and stuff like that.
Like, just running ROM sites.
Just running ROM sites.
Just actively participating in actual illegal activity.
Yeah. Thank God. Which is why I only go to one place and one place only to
Cool
get
Tour
my
ROMs.
No other source can be trusted.
Well,
No one's gonna-
Yuzu has a Patreon, and they're bringing in about $30,000 a month. So it's not like they don't have money, but I don't know how big the team is. I don't know what their operational costs are. I don't know what the server costs are. I don't know what the distribution
And I'm
costs
sure
are.
they have other plans for this money as well.
Well, they're using the money, and I mean these guys they're working hard on the emulator. And the realistic point here is that I don't think Nintendo actually gives that much of a shit about the emulator. I think they've consistently and over and over again have tried this route and tried to sue emulation developers because they want to set that precedence. Once they win one, it'll be so much easier for them to go after everybody. And they've got like a little gap here where they may actually have a little bit of a case. And then to stack on top of it, they are Nintendo. They have endless amounts of money. And Yuzu's not going to have endless amounts of money. And unfortunately, Yuzu doesn't have a choice in this. They're being sued, so they have to protect themselves. They have to get a lawyer. They have to go through with the court case. They can't just like run away from this. They're involved now, and all you can really hope for as a consumer is that Nintendo actually doesn't win this, because it would be a very scary place for the consumer if you have a company like Nintendo telling you you can buy these games, but you have to play them exactly the way we tell you to play them on the devices we tell you to play them on. It's just super anti-consumer. So I'm not saying piracy is great. I'm certainly not saying that people who are downloading these ROMs prior to launch and playing them and posting videos and tutorials and all that prior to the game's actual public release is good. But we also need to be able to have the freedom for developers to develop something legally to allow the end user
Video
or the
game
consumer
restoration.
right, whatever it is.
And I
you can call
agree.
it any fact.
And we've talked about this often. When you move from a physical media where I own this media and I have this game, and these companies are talking about digital only, but digital only is terrible because you can only get it from them, right?
Yeah.
And so I've had apps that I purchased from Apple and those guys like that, and then all of a sudden they say, oh well, you can't download this. You can no longer download this from the store because the version of OS that you have is no longer supported, right? You know what I mean? So they have these ways around where you legally still own it, but you can't utilize it because it's too old for the new version of the software that you have to download it to. You know what I mean? So those are ways that the consumer gets screwed out of purchasing something that you no longer have access to. So I agree with Restalgia here in this area. We as consumers have to have some method in order to preserve the things that we purchase, because the company at the end of the day doesn't care. You know what I mean?
No.
They'll just say, buy it again. Yep. If you want it. Screw that you already purchased this and own it. You don't have any access to it.
Just think about how many times you've purchased Super Mario World for Super Nintendo on every single console. You buy the Wii, oh, hey, buy Super Mario World again. You buy the Wii U, hey, buy Super Mario World again. Hey, you bought a Nintendo Switch, buy our subscription service so you can play Super Mario World again. And they're just, like, I get that. They want to remonetize those titles, but if you've bought it 6 times, why can't you just play it how you want to play it on your device? You own the game. If you don't have the ability to play it any way you want, do you actually own the game? Not really. If you like, I can't think of any other product that you can buy that you can't do whatever you want with it. If I go to Walmart, I buy any product in the world, whatever it is, and I bring it home, I can light the damn thing on fire if I want. It's mine. I do whatever I want with it. I can use it any way I want. I can play with it any way I want. I can not play with it. I can do whatever, and I have the right to do that. But with software, and
what are you talking about now? Because this seems like it's getting a little risque.
Well, before Restalgia really pops off here and pulls a P-dubs on the Super Game Room dudes, how about a shout out to Jim the Pacers fan in the live chat? Massive $20 super chat with just 2 words. Thank you. Well, James or Jim, you're welcome. And thank you. And you're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Greatly appreciate it. Okay, Restalgia, you okay?
I'm good.
I knew this was going to be a sensitive topic for you, man. I've just been sitting back eating popcorn.
The truth
is,
is,
it's a big deal. Like, this could be a huge deal.
truth is, this is actually really, really concerning, because if Nintendo wins this case, it's going to set up a really bad precedent. And word on the street is that the next person coming up, the next company coming up, going after people for creating emulators and showing people how to do these mods and add games to the system is Sony, and they're going to be going after all these pieces of shit on the internet that showed us how to hack
Those
the PlayStation
dirtbags.
Classic.
Those dirt bags. But actually, to be fair, if you look at all the other companies like Sony or Microsoft, they don't actually come after emulation in the same way that Nintendo does. And it's super interesting that Nintendo is just like, they're the guys who are coming after everybody when it comes to ROMs or when it comes to emulation. And they just don't give a shit. They just don't care.
So it's a bit of a different world. Like, if you look at Xbox and you look at PlayStation, their focus is not on first-party IP. Xbox a little bit more so now, because they're trying to get their subscription service and really start the next chapter of what gaming is going to be. But Nintendo's so goddamn dependent upon their IPs, because their hardware is never going to sync up to these other companies. Even though they're one of the richest company in the world, they have no interest in making a console that even remotely compares to what Sony and Xbox can do. They live and die 100% on their IPs. So, Sony, they don't give a shit, man. They're just like, whatever, we're going to put a new system out next year. And you know what? We don't have any games coming for it. You'll buy Call of Duty or some shit, you'll still buy our shit. We don't care. Nintendo, if they release something, unless they have first-party stuff on it, they're dead in the water. So they're a little bit more protective of their IPs than the other companies.
But I think like another area that a lot of people aren't even talking about is like the homebrew market, right? Like, if you don't have an emulator, then you can't. There's not going to be any incentive to develop homebrew titles. And there's a ton of like really, really good homebrew like Metroid games. Like the Super Mario Kaizo games are a ton of fun if you're really into like wishing that you want to kill yourself because the game's so hard. There's a ton of homebrew. There's like a whole homebrew community that loves to make games for different consoles, and you can't just like develop a game and then somehow port it onto your Nintendo Switch without causing it to be a huge nightmare for the average user. So having access to an emulator to play homebrew titles is like essential. If you lose the emulators, then you're going to lose like that development market's just going to disappear, and that would be a real shame.
There were a couple great comments in our live chat from our viewers during this fantastic discussion, because this is actually, it might end up turning into a massive deal in the gaming industry, guys. So we should all pay close attention to how this plays out. But
it's going to mean a lot for the future of Restalgia's channel, that's for sure.
Yeah, but
I'll just have to switch to hacking only PlayStation stuff.
You're just going to be a pinball shill now, from what I hear.
That's what it's going to
be. So Toxin and another viewer made similar points, but they were slightly different. One was Nintendo wants you to pay to access your games. You don't actually get to own them. And then another viewer a few minutes ago put in the live chat, these gaming companies want you're basically renting the games. You don't actually own what you're buying. And it's a real shame that that's what the video game industry is really turning into, guys. If you think about it, it's kind of scary, because I remember in the days I would go to Toys R Us with my dad and my mom, and we would go pick up I would want to get a new Nintendo NES game. And how many of you guys did this? You go to the Nintendo aisle, you get the little like card off the shelf, and then you would walk over, and they had that conveyor belt that went into the back room of the Toys R Us warehouse. And you gave it to them, and then they would bring your game out, and that NES box would come along the conveyor belt, that brand new game. And once you had it in your hands and went to the register and actually paid for the damn thing, well, guess what? You now owned, it was mine. Like, this is my cartridge. No one can take this from me. The only person that can remove this from my home is myself, right? And now we're in an age where companies can just dip in and say, you know what, everyone, that game is gone. We lost the license. You don't get it anymore, or some bullshit, right? Like, it's getting crazy out there, man. It's getting crazy.
Even to your point, P-Dubs, like Nintendo's trying to say that even if you buy a physical device on a cartridge, or even if you go back to other content or other consoles in the past, they're saying that you can't back up their titles. They're saying that that's not allowed. You are not allowed to back up a game that you purchased. And that's That's so anti-consumer. Like I've said that earlier, it's super anti-consumer to tell someone you can buy it, but you can't have a copy of it. You can't back it up. You can't preserve your copy and play your backup. And it's similar to this MIG Switch that's supposed to be coming out, the multi-cart for the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
That device is essentially the only games that you can play on it are backed up versions of your original copy of the game. So you have to own the game. You then have to pull the backup specifically from your cartridge, sideload it onto the MIG Switch, and even Nintendo saying like, no, that's not acceptable, when that really should be acceptable. Everyone should be able to take their games and back them up, play the backups to make sure that they don't damage their original cartridges because they paid for that. They should have the ability to protect their investment. And it's going to be super, super interesting to see what actually happens with this. I'm going to be watching it very closely.
Yes, we are all going to be watching it very, very closely. But let's pivot over. And we got a little bit of Arcade1Up news. I know that always puts a pep in everyone's step, especially when we find out that they have a new product coming soon. And guys, this is huge news. I mean, this is huge. The fact that they told us early and gave us a silhouette, and so we can begin the guessing game, the speculation videos, the live streams.
I heard a rumor that they're going to announce it during an hour-long unqualified critic stream.
But I mean, this is huge. This is huge, and I this company's killing it right now. They are just out of control nuts. I mean, Arcade1Up, you guys are marketing geniuses for this, but guess what? There's a new X-Men stool coming. Coming soon.
Was this another leak?
Biggest Arcade1Up news. No. Biggest Arcade1Up news.
It's not just. Listen, man. They're hip. They're hip to the lingo the kids are using nowadays. New launch coming soon, yo.
Why not just show the effing thing? Why is it black?
Because P-Dubs, you don't understand. You're not cool like I am. You know, me and Restalgia, we're both millennials. We understand this stuff, man. You don't know about launches. Like you're one of these Gen Xers, and all you want to do is just show the product. I'll go buy it at consumers distributing. No. We're not like that. It's all about the launch. It's about making you wait. It's about edging you to the purchase.
Okay, maybe we're all wrong. James with $2 says it's all black, arms, legs, everything. We just had it wrong. This is actually what it's going to look like. So people on Facebook and Discord earlier today were like, which X-Men's face am I going to put my ass cheeks on? You know what I mean? Like they're trying to guess what the design of the stool. And I'm like, guys, it'll probably just be, say, the X-Men 97 logo on it. You know what I mean? Like, who cares? But this is it. This is your big Arcade1Up news for the week. I mean, yeah, we got the X-Men 97 is officially available, which we'll talk about here in a minute. But I just don't understand this. Like, what is this? Maybe they don't have the final artwork approved yet. Who gives a crap, right?
New launch, yo.
Oh,
yeah, and it is. I actually, like they were saying, maybe it is just a black stool. It's that Vanta black color that's just like so dark that it absorbs everything.
I want to point something out. This is probably the saddest coming soon page that Arcade1Up has ever had on their website. Because if you guys think about it, in years past, coming soon, this page has always been here. But it would be filled with like 6, 7, 8 arcade machines. You know what I mean? And like, look, this is it. We have this, and then we have a big bag of crickets over here. I mean, there's nothing, man.
And you should be happy.
Mike, you know everything. Tell me they're going to announce something, and when are they going to announce it? Just rip the Band-Aid off. Relationships be damned. Tell me this company's not out of business.
This turned into a product hate channel so quickly. What happened, P-Dubs?
It's not a product hate channel. It's not a hate channel. I'm a realist, Mike. I'm a realist. And in reality, this page has nothing on it except for this. Where am I wrong? You guys remember?
That's two more products than last week.
This page used to have 6, 7, 8 machines on it at all times over the last few years, and this is all we got.
Yeah,
this is all we got.
It's a different time because a couple years ago, the companies like Walmart were like, "What do you got? We'll buy it," and Best Buy was like, "What do you got? We'll buy it." So now those companies they're loaded down with stock. They're just waylaid. They still have Yoga Flames and Mortal Kombat 1s from 2 years ago they can't sell. So, I mean, they're less interested in picking up stock. There's not as much demand for the product. Arcade1Up can't just put a bunch of stuff out if nobody's going to buy it. And we all forget sometimes we're not the end consumer. Arcade1Up doesn't give a shit about us. They're selling to retailers, man.
Well, Amazon apparently is the retailer that picked up this Marvel vs. Capcom X-Men 97.
I wouldn't
That's
be,
not how,
I wouldn't
that's
be
not
so
how that
sure
works
about
with
that.
Amazon.
Yeah.
Well, it says pre-order on Amazon.
Yeah, no, that's fine, but I don't think Amazon picked anything up. That's not how Amazon works.
Well,
you
why
can sell
is-
whatever you want
explain
on
it to me.
Amazon.
Explain
but
it
you
to me.
pay for that.
Okay. So I can make a bunch of consoles with thousands of illegal ROMs on it and sell it
Yeah,
on
just
Amazon.
ask-
Yes, you
Yeah.
literally can.
And if I called my company Kinhank, is there a YouTuber out there I could reach out to who would make videos for my shitty consoles?
Send it to me. They're my favorite company.
You can reach out to me. I've enjoyed making the emulator stuff so far. I think it's fine. And Cool Toy cleans
It's
up
not-
on those, man. He does really well.
It's not that hard to make that content, is it, Mike?
Sometimes it actually is a lot of work because like you can't miss anything. So it's not so much that it's a lot of work to make a video and get people to watch it, but man, oh man, you gotta do so much testing because like you miss one game for one obscure console on that, and then you do your review, and then someone comes in and they're like, "Yeah, well, Wand of Gamelon doesn't work for the Philips CDI, you piece of shit. How come you didn't tell us about that?"
How come you didn't test all 90,000 games before you made your video, fuckface?
Exactly.
Oh man, that's hilarious. But here you go. So Amazon, and it's $4.99. It's which is interesting
Excellent price.
because
Excellent.
the MVC 2
Still $5.99.
is still $5.99.
Yeah.
Right.
So
So you can get this one with the same games but shittier artwork, basically.
I gotta say this machine, in my opinion, is the nicest machine Arcade1Up has put out in like the last 4, 5 months, 6 months, 7 months even.
it's the only one, Restalgia.
But how does that not validate my point? I actually like this machine. I don't care what anyone else says. I think the X-Men, what is this, 97? I think
Tell
that
me
artwork
about the
looks good.
value, Restalgia, of X-Men 97.
It
So-
is massively valuable. In
I-
fact,
I-
you don't just go ahead, Mike. Go ahead and interrupt me. It's okay. I'll wait, buddy. It's not a big deal.
I can't help it. I can't help it. Let me.
It's your accent. That's all it is. It's your accent that's making
No,
you interrupt.
that's not my accent. It's. I have something I want to say about it, but you go ahead. I will wait. And
No.
I will,
Are you
no,
sure? Are you sure?
Restalgia, I want to hear your thoughts. Go ahead, buddy.
Well, put it back on screen. We got to talk about it.
I will in a second. I got to give people a link. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, in my
Oh,
opinion,
don't forget to use your Amazon affiliate. You can find a couple ones. Like there's one on Facebook. Some guy on Facebook put his Amazon affiliate link up there.
Oh
I've
yeah.
heard about that actually. Yeah.
We'll go back in time so you guys can look at all the cabinets from the past.
Wow, it's so wonderful. No, I don't know. And there's a lot of people that are saying this is garbage. This looks bad. I don't actually think the artwork looks bad. When I look at it, I'm like, okay, cool. It's just like a skinned version of the Marvel vs. Capcom cabinet. It's themed as X-Men. If you like X-Men, maybe you'll like this. I don't know. I think it looks good. I'm not going to buy it. I don't have any interest in it. I don't think it's going to be a particularly good seller.
Hold on.
But I don't think it looks terrible. Like I really don't think it's all that bad. If they've released this, it's not offensive. Like people
Now,
are upset.
Restalgia, I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had the greatest record of all time. And Michael, yes, if we were in ancient Rome, your name would be Michaelus Interruptus.
That's a good name.
That's a great name. Oh, okay. Whew. All
Yeah.
right.
All I was saying is that I just like if you're just like looking at the machine, it's not offensive. It doesn't look bad. It's just maybe not what you want. I just don't think it's. I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. I think they could have done a lot worse, and they've done a lot worse in the past. So.
So there's two minds of thought on this. I will be very clear. This is not a product I'm interested in, and this is not a path I'm interested in from Arcade1Up. I mean, obviously, I want the company to continue to make arcade recreations, toy versions of classic arcade games that we can buy, enjoy in our homes. This is not this. This is something different. This is more toy product tie-in. Now, let's talk about the pros and the cons. So the pros to this is right now with this pre-order, you can buy Marvel vs. Capcom in a deluxe form factor for less than even the current Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is going for. I don't even think it's still available in the US. I know it's available here in Canada, but it's $7.99 in Canada. So you can get Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And when it comes to the actual arcade machine itself, there wasn't much art. Really, you had a control panel and you had a marquee. But outside of that, I mean, these were just conversion cabs. So realistically, the stuff on the side of the cabinet is not that offensive. It's no more or less offensive than the actual Marvel vs. Capcom 2 cab or the KIF cab because there was no side art. The only thing is, if you want to change out the marquee, if you want arcade accuracy, and of course it's not in a classic, HS5 Dynamo or a Big Blue, but then again, Arcade1Up, from what I was told, this shape right here, the midway, is going to be their new shark fin. So whenever a cab doesn't really meet one of the form factors or they don't feel like investing in a new form factor for a cab, we're going to get it in this kind of shark fin. So this is the design, and where they were going completely unique with this, I guess they decided just to do this as a deluxe cab in the MK2 deluxe form factor. So the pros are Marvel vs. Capcom 2 in a deluxe at $100 cheaper if you do your pre-order. I also found out this will be coming to Canada. We won't get $100 off compared to Marvel vs. Capcom 2, but it will be cheaper. I was told that it could be as low as $679. So your normal deluxe here is $649. It's going to be about $30 more, which is still well over $100 cheaper than Marvel vs. Capcom 2 sells for here at $799. So same thing in Canada. You can pick up a deluxe version of Marvel vs. Capcom 2 for quite a bit cheaper than the original, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is still going for. So that's the pros. The negatives, like I mentioned, if you want an arcade recreation, this isn't it, pal. So,
Mike,
keep
did
that
you
in mind.
interrupt me for that snooze fest?
Probably, yeah.
Jeez.
We need a Canadian version of the cornercade. That way he could be, let's go, eh? Let's go, eh? Guys, it's coming to Canada, so get hyped, get excited. I know you guys are just jumping out of your seats to pre-order this thing, so it's coming to Canada. I forgot what else I was going to say about this. Right here. It is going to ship the week of April 25th. So, hey, at least they gave the shipping date on here, which is kind of nice. That's like what, 6-7 weeks from now. So there you go. So yeah, who's getting it? If you're getting it, put a 1 in the chat. If you're not getting it, put a 0. I don't care either way. Let us know. Carl, any thoughts on this before we talk? I really want to hear what Carl thinks of the shuffle golf game. I really do. So we'll get to that in a second here. Go ahead, Carl.
Well, again, this cabinet at this price is exactly what we've been asking Arcade1Up to do for ages. Give us a decent cabinet, backlit marquee, real coin or faux coin door that looked like a real coin door, you know what I mean? Without the riser, you know what I mean? So at a fair price. So I think this is a good thing for the home arcade market. So anybody that wants a new arcade cabinet that doesn't have this game will definitely enjoy this cabinet.
Why does it keep doing that every time I hit that button? Sorry, guys. Good stuff, Carl. I always love when Carl speaks. He makes logical sense all the time, whereas I'm just filled with anger and excitement.
Lately it's been so much anger. You hate every product. I feel like I'm on the wrong channel.
I'm mad at everybody lately.
You
I'm mad at everybody.
tell them, P-dubs.
I need to get a pet, Mike. I need to get like a little parrot on my shoulder that wears spectacles and just
He's turning into get off my lawn, right? Get off my lawn.
So earlier this week, we found out that, and I didn't know this. I found this out after watching Mike's video because remember, Mike knows everything about Arcade1Up. I know barely anything. I'm just kidding, Mike. But Thinkup is no longer associated with Arcade1Up. I had no idea because Thinkup is the company that helped start Arcade1Up. But when the whole, transfer of powers happened and Scott and John and all them were let go, Thinkup left too, right? Is that basically what happened?
And no one knows exactly what happened. So when Scott and John left, Scott was very close with Thinkup. Thinkup seemingly left as well. I didn't know either. Someone brought it up in my chillin' chat I did the other night, and sure enough, Thinkup released a product like 2 days later, and I was like, I guess we know now. And Thinkup are no longer part of the Arcade1Up package. They won't be, designing the cabs for them going forward, and they've got their own home arcade product that they're working on now. And I guess you're going to be showing it here in a second.
Yeah. So what's interesting is, and I really wanted to stress this because I had no idea. I thought because the Infinity Game Table and the Infinity Gaming Board, those are Thinkup products,
Yep.
right? They're the ones who engineer it and took care of it and all that. But they're no longer associated with Arcade1Up. So that means Arcade1Up now is in full control of those boards without the partnership of Thinkup, those Infinity Game Tables. But I just thought they would still work there because the Infinity Game Table is still releasing new games. They just released some new games last month. So I figured, I didn't think it was a dead product. But here's what's interesting, guys. So on February 27th, around, 7 a.m., their Kickstarter went live. I did a video. Some other people did videos when we got the email notification and sure enough, a couple hours later, I guess they must have caught the videos. They added this to their frequently asked questions. Is Thinkup still involved with Arcade1Up? It says Thinkup is the original designer of the Arcade1Up home arcade. However, we are no longer involved with the product line. Any Arcade1Up questions or comments should be directed to Arcade1Up directly. They added this a few hours after the Kickstarter went live because several people were like, Arcade1Up is coming out with this shuffle golf
Restalgia.
game.
Restalgia was one. Restalgia was like, why does nobody care that Arcade1Up is bringing out a shuffle golf game? And I was like, because they're not.
So this is those guys off doing their own separate thing. This product has no affiliation with Arcade1Up whatsoever. Whether or not that matters to you, I don't know, guys. I'm just, keeping you posted on the latest information. But I thought that was interesting.
They didn't do themselves any favors in the video they put up. Like there was Arcade1Ups all over the background. So.
Yeah, they're known for being part of the company that started Arcade1Up, and in the guy's promo video for the product, he had, which is on this Kickstarter video, he actually had a bunch of Arcade1Ups behind him, Mike, like you said. Again, another reason why I didn't realize they no longer work together. But I've been waiting all week because I've talked about this. I did a stream about this, but I've been waiting all week to see what Carl thinks about this game. Carl, would this be a fun party game for you and your boys? It's 6 feet long, it's 3 feet tall, and here's the kicker: it only weighs 20 pounds once fully assembled. But what do you think about this thing, Carl?
Well, let's go to Detroit and see what's advertised to us.
Wait.
Excited about it.
Wait. Are we going to find out what the people of Detroit would say about this product?
Yes, do it. Let's do it.
Take it away, Carl. What would they say?
Yo, listen up. Get ready to take your game night to the next level with Shuffle Golf from Thinkup Gaming. It's like table shuffleboard with a twist, you dig? We're talking about smooth sliding, rollerball, steel bearing golf pucks, a curved design that brings it back to you, and a whole bunch of dope features. Fairways, golf, roughs, water hazard is all in the mix, bro. This ain't your average shuffleboard. Nah, it's a limited edition Kickstarter exclusive vibe. You got to jump on this before the clock runs out. Lock in your spots before March 27th and be the MVP of every game night. So what's the deal? You ready to bring the heat to your game room? Let's make some moves and pledge now on Kickstarter. It's time to level up, fam.
Oh, beautiful. I love it when Carl does these. I love it.
I'm very concerned about how easily we're letting Skynet do everything for us now.
Carl is always he's got that thing. What is that? That Chat GPT that helps him out with us. That was funny, Carl. You know what else is funny, Carl? This $2 super chat from Kevin Clausen saying that was also funny, Carl. Mimicking what I said. Jinx, Kevin, you owe me a Coke. Go ahead.
Well, I saw P-Dub's video earlier this week, and I immediately jumped on it. And And so I pledged. This is something that I was excited for.
You
know,
backed
I
it?
said it before.
You're a
backed it?
backer. Wow.
Oh, I knew he would. I knew he would.
There's no way. I have golf on every platform, every possible way.
This is crazy. Like honestly, every time I see something and I'm like, geez, that's gonna be hard pressed for anybody to jump in on that. Then I watch a video and Carl's like, yeah, I ordered Killer Instinct Pro. Yeah, I ordered Shuffle Golf.
Carl's
Yeah, this
awesome.
just makes sense. This is a lot of fun. I mean, like you said, it's not a very heavy table. You can compact this thing and take it somewhere else if you want to, which is always a fan for that I love about the Arcade1Ups when they first came out. Is you can break it down and take it somewhere else and play. But this, we get together on my street all the time. We're playing something, right? Whether it's bags or whatever. We're in somebody's garage. This is something that would definitely be in our garage, one of our garages, and everybody on the street playing this. We got our beers in one hand, and this is a no-brainer for me.
Yeah, I figured that Carl would be the target customer for something like this, and I was right. I'm excited to hear that you actually backed this thing. So it's $250, but I think they had like 100, like the first 100 backers could get it for $180. Is that what the deal you got?
Yeah, so I backed it $180. Then it's a
Yeah.
$30 shipping. There's only shipping to the U.S. currently, at least for this program for the Kickstarter. And so it's $30. So you're looking at about 210 or something like 218. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah.
What it was. But
There you
yeah,
go.
yeah, I jumped on immediately.
I'm happy for you. If Carl's happy, I'm happy, guys, because Carl is a gentleman amongst us troublemakers. So there.
And the good thing about this, I can slip this down the stairs, and my wife will never know.
I told you not to buy any more arcades.
Right.
It's not an
This is not an
arcade. It's a
arcade.
That is
Shuffle
absolutely
Golf.
not an
Right,
arcade.
it's Shuffle Golf, baby. What you thought? And here's what I thought of immediately. Immediately when I saw it, I'm like, I can't wait to see the third party support for a product like this. New games that you can just flip that board over and put your own board on there and play other games. Have the, what do you call that? What's the thing on the back? What do you guys put on? Toppers? Different toppers that you can put on it. I can see mods for something like this popping up as well, so you can personalize it and do whatever you want.
So, kudos to them, man. Look at this. It's only been up and active, I think, for like 3 days, and they're $420 away from hitting their goal on this. So good stuff for Thinkup, man.
Yeah, 115 backers, 26 days to go, and there will be bonus awards if they keep making, if they hit like 40,000, stuff like that, which it seems they're on pace to do. So, but there you go. Hey, man, I do like fun products for your game room. You guys know me. I love coin pushers, dartboards. I love candy claw machines, This one, I didn't back. I didn't back it. I didn't back this one. This one, it's just, I don't know if it's for me or not. I showed it to my wife, Melissa. She's like, she looked at it like it was not cool at all. You know what I mean? There you go. But
we got the budget friendly option if you
Players take taking their.
Here we go.
There you go. So if you can't afford that one, this one for $30, you can get this from Amazon.
So this is on Amazon right now for $30, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, so
Wow.
that'll save you a few $100.
It's so tiny.
This is a desk. This is a table. This is a desktop.
Oh, that's desk shit.
Oh,
Yeah, this
that
is
guy right
desk.
there on the right, that would be Restalgia playing this game.
I actually am I've got great sportsmanship. I would never do such a thing.
You do not.
Oh, I certainly do.
He actually does have really good sportsmanship. Whenever him and his wife have a third and he finishes early, he always sits in the room. He's very, cheering
quiet.
them on.
Yeah, well, I'm relatively quiet. I don't want to get in the way.
Carl, do me a favor, share a link for that Amazon product in the video description below. So that's the new Wave Toys 1/6 scale version of the Shuffle Golf game. So yeah, only 3 feet tall surprised me. So it's basically kind of like it's supposed to be around your waist level, these guys are kind of hunched over while they're playing it. So we'll see. I mean, it's just weird. Restalgia, what are your thoughts on this product once you saw this thing start rolling out?
It's not for me. It's the problem with this thing. And Carl, no offense. Hopefully, you don't take offense to this.
No, I don't take offense.
When I read the information, you know what it felt like to me? It felt like it's going to be one of those like Walmart brand air hockey tables that it's going to be so much fun for 5 minutes, but it's really lightweight, poorly built. The bolts and stuff are going to get loose on it. You're going to flick. The table's going to start rocking after a couple weeks, and it's just not going to be. It's not going to last. I think that's my biggest concern. When specifically they're like, oh, it's only 20 pounds. I'm like, okay, that's a problem. If I'm getting a table like this, I want it to be like solid. Like I don't want to bump into it and then break 3 of the legs because I accidentally like hit it with my hip. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. If you're into this sort of thing, I hope it's great. I hope they do a really good job on the quality. But like at 20 pounds, it's like going to be made out of foam board and plastic. Like I would have wanted something that's like, made out of, I don't know, even like the Arcade1Up plywood, presswood, whatever the heck they're using. Something strong.
So, Carl, I'm a little concerned about this. It's only 3 feet tall. Are you worried that it's going to be too tall for you?
Yeah.
Sure.
You're going to have to get like a stool or something to stand on to play this. You and Wagner.
So what's the height of the Arcade1Up?
Aren't those
What's
like
the height
50?
What's the height of the AtGames, the ALP? What's the height? Sitting right next to it.
Man, that ALP control deck is so low.
The ALP.
ALU, I
what's
mean,
the height?
ALU.
Yeah.
No, not
Yeah,
the
it's
ALU,
only
the ALP. We're talking about the ALP.
I don't remember the exact inches off the ground.
It's got to be. It's got to be the height. It's got to be the height of this ALP.
Hey, Restalgia, can you stop shilling this product on this broadcast tonight?
No, that's literally what I do. That's literally what I do. If they pay me, I will shill it. It's that simple.
Is there going to be a stool for this? And when's the launch? New product launch for the stool, shuffle golf stool.
So what's the height of it? You said. What's the height?
It's 3 feet.
That's well. The ALP is 33 inches high at the front.
So it's taller than the ALP on the low
it's a taller
setting.
ALP.
Interesting.
So it's perfectly fine.
Yeah, it'll be playable. It'll be playable.
You can hear if it was this height, this would be perfectly fine for that table.
You guys got him all worked up, dissing his Kickstarter for purchase. He busted out the tape measure.
He got the tape measure out. This is some
you don't have
serious
the
shit.
facts.
No. I genuinely hope, it's like super good quality. It lasts. It's well worth the investment. I hope it's a ton of fun.
Wow.
I just have my reservations when it comes to products like this, just because. I don't know. I've seen a lot of products like this.
I've seen you give some thumbs up to some really
you know what?
shit on
you
your
know
channel.
you know what
That's
you know
okay,
what we
but they
need.
paid me, Mike.
Carl, you know what we need you to do? What you did before when the pinball machines were coming out. Make a cardboard mock-up for our viewers
Shuffle golf cardboard
of shuffle
great,
golf.
dude.
I want to see that.
And when it comes, we need a video of you standing on top of it.
Yeah. Now keep in mind, if he needs shoes of a taller nature, he could borrow Restalgia's lifts.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking at here. I'm looking at the comparison. So like if you had one of those folding 6 foot banquet tables, you guys are all familiar with those, right?
Yeah.
Parties, people come over. Those things are like 30 pounds. Those things are 30 pounds, and you put all kinds of shit on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is
It'd
20,
be nice.
20 pounds.
It'd be nice if this thing folds up. I agree.
I'm thinking that the weight, I think, is going to be adequate for that.
Yeah.
Carl, don't let anybody talk shit to you, man. I hope you enjoy it, brother.
I knew. I had a feeling when this thing came out. I was thinking of like all the people on YouTube, and I was like, which YouTuber would back this project? And for some reason, I thought of you, Detroit Love. I figured you would be the one to back this project.
You're telling me he actually
Full transparency. Did we talk about this at all during the week? Because I wanted to wait for the show.
No. Do you know that Detroit Love is actually in the Guinness Book of World Records for most time played on the golf game on the Nintendo Switch?
Oh man, yeah, huge.
It's like 700 hours on that golf game.
Well, there you go.
I haven't touched it.
A little bit, guys. I don't mean to take anybody else's thunder here. I know everybody's been waiting patiently, but I did get an advance notice update on what the New Wave Toys Glenn's Retro Show product announcement is going to be. Is it cool if I share that with the viewers?
I guess.
You
Oh,
won't. You
boy,
won't
where
have.
are
You
we
don't
going
have
with this
time.
one,
It's
Mike?
already. It's only 1 hour and 16 minutes now.
We
so.
got to do it,
we're-
guys.
We only
So
got,
anyways,
we only
guys,
got a minute 20 left. We only got a minute 20 left.
So it's finally been revealed. Glenn and Shiloh are working on the Shiloh bobblehead.
That's so fake.
One problem with it is it's non-bobbleable.
That's so fake.
Non-bobbleable?
The head doesn't bobble.
It's
Oh,
loveless.
oh, that's so fake.
Anyways,
Someone
yeah,
put that on one of their Facebook
Yeah,
groups.
I think everybody's just antsy now. Like, we're all so excited for this comparison that they're doing. We want to see what's going on, and we're just desperately waiting to see what New Wave Toys are doing. We are looking at X-Men 97. We're looking at, the path Arcade1Up looks to be going in. Hopefully, it's not all going to be like this, and we are really, us of the people who like these home arcade recreations. I mean, honestly, we're at the point right now where it's like, help us, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're our only hope. We're really hoping Glenn and Shiloh come together to release something really freaking cool from New Wave Toys, if it is going to be a larger scale home arcade product. So I know I talked to Glenn a couple weeks ago when we were still pretty close, and Glenn told me, it's going to be a couple weeks and we should have it out. So hopefully we hear soon. Hopefully Paul's wrong. Paul keeps saying it's a multicade. I can't see New Wave Toys doing multicades.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
not-
I
that's
don't.
not Shiloh.
That's not Shiloh. That's not what they're doing. I am desperately looking for the future of home arcade recreations to possibly be New Wave Toys. So I'm hoping it's something friggin' cool. And we're dying here waiting for the news.
What if it is something like a multicade, like Glenn's little mini arcade machine, just on a 3/4 scale, where you can like take out and interchange the control deck? And what about something like that? You don't think that could be like something that they would do?
Maybe it's not something. It's not. I don't know if it'd be something I'd be excited for. I think what we're looking for from New Wave Toys is we're looking for something that's competitive to Arcade1Up, and I think that what that would be is that's something that's more competitive to AtGames and Iconic Arcade. It'll probably be more like an Iconic Arcade, right? So I'm looking for more. I want to see a home arcade product that only New Wave Toys does this. They'll take risks. I mean, Arcade1Up's never going to friggin' release a Q*bert. Arcade1Up's never going to friggin' release a Berserk. I mean, they don't have the balls to do it. New Wave Toys does have those balls. They're like, fuck it, let's do Food Fight.
In my opinion, yeah, that's where I was going with this. Like, I would actually see New Wave Toys as the company saying, hey, you know what? We're going to make 500 Food Fight 1-to-1 recreations or 90-to-1 recreations, or I could see them actually doing a Q*bert. I could see them actually. Here's another one that's been rumored coming to New Wave Toys: Kangaroo. People hate on Kangaroo. Kangaroo is a great freaking arcade game. I love Kangaroo. Every time I put a vote out there for Kangaroo,
only if every other arcade cabinet was occupied.
Yeah.
And you weren't going to take those quarters back
Fair
home.
enough. But we all have our own favorites, right? Like, Crazy Climber. Like, I actually see, like, New Wave Toys actually doing that. But, of course, they would be limited. Nothing in big scale. Like, do you think New Wave Toys is going to make, like, Arcade1Up does 30,000 versions of a cabinet? I really doubt it.
Well, it's a different audience, again. And this is why I'm really hoping New Wave Toys, this is the direction they're going in. And why they can do this is because New Wave Toys sells to the consumer. Arcade1Up sells to the retailer. So there's a different end user. So a company like New Wave Toys really standing up and doing something that is both a decoration and, large enough to actually play and enjoy in your home. That would be a slam dunk for us niche arcade people that want to see cool shit like this.
It'd be awesome.
What?
That I could see New Wave Toys doing. If they did do a 3/4 scale machine and they had a functional coin door that didn't accept money but accepted like New Wave Toys coins, and they give you like a little bag of New Wave Toys coins that you could put in, I think that would be that'd be awesome. Just as like as an extra way to just like
Make
bring
it
something to the table.
authentic as possible. Yeah, I would like that.
It's going to be expensive. I think if they go that route, and these things come out and they're expensive, everyone's going, oh, the price. I cannot see
would be
New Wave
cool.
Toys coming to the table in the 3/4 scale or larger market without it being a hefty price.
Oh yeah.
Well, you're the mathematician, Restalgia, on here. What would be the 3/4? They're at the 1/6 scale now.
1/6 scale, yeah.
You take that price. What, about $300 today for one of the cabinets?
I think they're like 150 to 170.
So,
is their
I
normal
think-
price?
And
What would that
Steve-
price be if you made a 3/4 scale?
I'm not
Who's
sure.
that?
Mike keeps wanting to
Michaelis
interrupt, so we should just keep
Interruptus?
talking.
Michael,
Oh my
let's
God.
interrupt this. What do you have to say, sir?
So, like, I mean, I'm not an insider with
Nobody's interested in that, but thank you for reaching out.
Oh, damn. Yeah.
I'm not an insider with New Wave Toys. I don't have a direct line to Shiloh or anybody like that. But Glenn Planamento is. I mean, Glenn obviously works with him. They have a close relationship. They talk. I don't know how much Glenn told Stephen Haywood, but Stephen Haywood is openly, he was throwing it out in the chat. Tech Buzz was throwing it out in chat. If you go watch live streams, he was like, New Wave Toys is coming. They're going to be a competitor. And he said a couple times that the price point that he's heard, whether that be from Glenn, Shiloh, and things could have changed, was $650 US for their cab. We all know Shiloh doesn't want to charge something through the moon. He's always very price conscious when he does this stuff. So if it is $650 US, about $1,000 Canadian, is that something people are willing to pay? But keep in mind, this is the quality of New Wave Toys. So, yeah.
Well, let's do. You guys remember Steiner Math? If you're a professional wrestling fan, Mike, I know you remember Steiner Math, right?
Oh, of course I do.
We're gonna do our own version of Super Game Room Dudes Math. How much is the New Wave Toys product going to be? And we have a simple formula for you guys to figure this out using the Super Game Room Dudes Math. The average price of a home arcade product is $500 in today's market. All you have to do is multiply that by 60.39%. And the price is actually going to be $802, Mike, is what it's going to come to for the next New Wave Toys product, according to Super Game Room Dudes Math. But if it comes in at $650, man, I would be all for that, bro. Like that's a lot better than $800. Because I was thinking whatever they're going to release is going to be like $1,000, like
Well,
That's what I was
$999.
thinking too.
We're in that,
$999.
we're in that new threshold of price right now. Like you look at the ALP. ALP 4KP came out at $10.99 with the regular retail being $14.99. ALU, the regular retail on that we know is going to be, I think it was $12.99 in that presentation they went out. Obviously, it's going to be cheaper than that on the pre-order. I would expect that to be sub $1,000 when the pre-order comes out. But the prices have eked up there. You've got the Nova Blast. That's going to be that's $1,000. I think with the stool, $1,099. So maybe this is the new echelon for home arcade now. We're up around $1,000. More quality products. If the quality's there, I don't think people will mind the price point. It's just how much are people willing to pay for something that's a toy recreation compared to something that it's a little bit more substantial.
I also think that the people who are interested in New Wave Toys as a company in general will support them. If they're going to go out and they're going to take a risk on something like this, even if it's not necessarily the IP you want, if you want to see them continue to do more and more IPs in that form factor, they need to be successful with every single one of their launches. They're a small company. They can't afford to have a failure when they're going to invest that kind of capital. So I think that just because they have a good fan base that really love what they do and they love their products, I think that even if they came out with something that was a little on the high end, so long as they don't go overzealous with the quantities that they produce, I think they'll be okay. It's just I don't see this as being like an Arcade1Up competitor. Like I really don't see their product lines ever being a competitor to the other guys in the space because, to be honest, like everyone else in the space is just trying to build the products for as cheaply as they can and sell as many as they can And I just don't think that that's what New Wave Toys is all about.
Scott James said, I think that everybody that's into it is not into it to make money. I don't know what you're saying there. I know Glenn is actively trying to lose money on what his endeavors are. I know that. But I'm sure everybody else is trying to make money and make a tidy profit. But I do get the impression from talking to Shiloh that their company's not about fleecing the consumer. They're trying to do the right fit pricing on what they're doing. So whether you want to say that they're trying not to make money, I think they're trying to make the right amount of money that keeps their consumers coming back.
Good feedback there. Also good feedback from James Hates Everything. If there's one thing that New Wave Toys knows is if they do decide to make a larger arcade form factor product, their customers are going to expect the same type of quality that they put into their mini 1/6 scale. And obviously that is going to be scaled accordingly when it comes to the retail price. So I really don't see New Wave Toys cheaping out, putting plastic coin doors on. They would put metal coin doors on, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, I actually see New Wave Toys like doing these machines a little more justice if this becomes a reality. But it looks like we'll find out in the next week or so. So it should be an exciting time for this community.
Apparently, it was supposed to be tonight. That's what they're saying. It was supposed to be tonight, but it got delayed. Hopefully, it's next week. I hope people aren't disappointed because it's one of those things where I think the community has gone our own mind with it. Kind of like what happened with the pinball. We all were like, oh yeah, they're definitely going to do real playable pinball at the 1/6 scale. So hopefully if it does come out and it's like an official GRS, what is it, Buildicade 5/6 Buildicade, people aren't too disappointed. We know what we want, and hopefully it does meet our expectations.
All right, guys. Well, that is going to be it for this week. Thanks, as always, for tuning in to the Super Game Room dudes. Make sure you give us a thumbs up on the way out. Click that subscribe button. Had fun talking with all of you tonight. What?
Do you want to give a teaser about what guests we're going to have on next week?
Oh, we're going to have guests next week. Hold on, guys. Don't go anywhere. Go ahead.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell them.
No, I don't even know who it is. Go.
Tilt Bob. So Tilt Bob is an independent pinball company. They're relatively new manufacturer. It looks as though these guys are going to try to enter the market with we'll call it a homebrew style pinball machine, fully mechanical. And they want to come onto the show and kind of let us know what they've got going on. So we may end up with another pinball company entering the market with an original title. So if you're interested in hearing about that,
that'll make 15 pinball companies, which I love hearing. Now, guys, wouldn't it be great if we had 15 home arcade companies? We need more companies. It drives innovation. You see how the bigger fish keep trying to outdo each other, right? And these new fish come in, like Barrels of Fun, who blow away what the big fish are doing. Now the big fish are reinventing the wheel. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we need in this little home arcade space. More companies to dive in and make awesome arcade machines just like these pinball companies. But yeah, Tilt Bob won Homebrew of the Year, right? They won Homebrew of the Year.
They won Homebrew of the Year in 2022 for the favorite homebrew pinball machine, and it was an elf themed, like the movie Elf themed machine. But we'll probably see a little bit more about that next week.
Now, guys, also to be clear, this is a Restalgia contact. Keep in mind, Restalgia, we've all known for a long time, Restalgia is a big pinball fan. There's going to be a lot more pinball content coming on Restalgia's channel. He's going to bring expertise on there, explaining to you why every single pro and premium table is exactly the same.
Identical. Save your money, guys. I figured it out. Just go with the pro models. There's no need for premium.
Yeah. All right, Carl, do us a favor. Send them on their way. Big show next week. You guys don't want to miss it.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in today. We appreciate you. I can't wait for this shuffle golf because I'll be able to buy some third parties and play some shuffle darts.
If Carl's happy, I'm happy.
And some shuffle bullseye. Look, man, I appreciate you. We appreciate you. Tune in next week when we're going to have a special guest. And until next time, we'll see you on the web.